Alright guys, this is a battle against theonelink0210, a challenger from my Twitch live stream, and this is an OU match, that's what he requested, and he actually brings a pretty interesting team with some pretty interesting Pokemon, with some pretty interesting sets. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully it will turn out alright. So, let's do this. Going to lead with, I don't remember. He leads with his Noivern, that is correct. As I lead with my Tornadus, and unfortunately for me, Noivern does actually have slightly more base speed than my Tornadus, and yeah, I'm just going to go for that Hurricane attack to try to do some nice damage, but his Boom Burst also does some nice damage, and this time my Hurricane misses, so I'm not able to get that 2-hit KO, which really does suck for me because, yeah, now I have to switch out to try to save my my Tornadus, and I go into Durant, and this is a Pokemon that people have requested me use, and despite the resistance, it still does a ton to this thing, and this thing just dies, so screw you guys who wanted me to use Durant. It's clearly not great. So I go into my Typhlosion now, and Typhlosion actually, the reason I'm using Typhlosion is because I had an RU battle just before this that I ended up like sweeping with Typhlosion. It was pretty awesome, so I wanted to give him another chance to get on YouTube, because the first battle that I used him with wasn't really YouTube worthy. So he goes out into Seismitoad to take my Eruption, which is a good move, and yeah, it just goes for Scald against my incoming Rotom-w, and that's alright with me. I'm just going to actually try to set up the Will-O-Wisp. I know these things are usually special, and it's kind of confirmed by that Scald, but I figure that the residual damage on this thing isn't really so bad, and he gets the... he goes for the Sludge Wave now, which doesn't really do a whole lot to my Rotom, and that's pretty cool, and I really don't have anything else to do other than try to go for the Will-O-Wisp again, thinking that he'll switch maybe, and unfortunately for he does not switch, and yeah, it doesn't really do anything, as he just goes for another Sludge Wave and gets the Poison, which kind of sucks. As I said, I was trying to predict a switch there. I didn't think that he would stay in and continue using ineffective attacks, but ended up getting burned there, actually poisoned, actually. No, I didn't get burned, I got poisoned. And, yeah, oh well for me. I don't really have anything to hurt this Seismitoad, because most of the time they do carry Water Absorb, and obviously that makes my Water and my Electric attacks ineffective against the Water Ground type. So he goes out into Lucario, as I just go for, well, I go into Garchomp. I guess it's a double switch. He's going to just go for the Swords Dance, which is a surprising play. Once again, thought he would switch, didn't think he would risk staying in against an Earthquake, and I'm actually kind of really fearing the Ice Punch. Fortunately for me, though, he gets greedy. He goes for that second Swords Dance, as I just go for an Earthquake. And he does have that Focus Sash, which is pretty obvious considering how greedy he was being. And this is a bulky Chomp. He is going to be able to obviously kill me with close combat at this point. But due to my ability and my Rocky Head, he is also going to be taken down with me. So a Pokemon for a Pokemon, I guess. And I come out of it with Stealth Rock, so that's not too bad. But, yeah, once again, we're going to do a dual switch, and, yeah, he goes out into Hades, his, Charizard, as I switch into Typhlosion. Now, I don't know what kind of Charizard this is going to be. It's almost certainly his Mega Evolution. If it's Charizard Y, I could have stayed in and maybe went for the Eruption. If it's Charizard X, the reason I didn't switch in, because I was thinking maybe this was Charizard X, who X4 resists Eruption, so I probably wouldn't be able to do much with it. I go into my Rotom, and he actually makes a pretty excellent play by not Mega Evolving, just going for Roost instead, and the reason that he delayed Mega Evolving is because he is a Mega Charizard Y, which does have Drought, and he didn't want to give me the Drought boost, which obviously would have been able to do, even against the Resistance, a massive amount of damage with Eruption. So that's actually a really nice play for him, as he now Mega Evolves against my Rotom and just goes for the Solar Beam, which is super effective, and I do die. So yeah, now I am going to go back into Tyranitar, though. I'm going to try just to go for the Eruption. I'm hoping that it's going to do significant damage due to the fact that Eruption has a massive amount of base power when I'm at full health and when the sun is up, and it ends up doing a little bit over half, but not nearly as much as I was hoping for. He goes for the Dragon Pulse to get me down, and he makes actually a really bad misplay here. He switches out thinking that I would 2-hit KO him, but I am a Scarf Typhlosion, so I am locked into Eruption, and yeah, Eruption obviously wouldn't KO there, because it does power, its base power is based on the amount of HP I have left, and because I'm under half, I wouldn't have been able to KO him, I'm pretty sure. So he actually makes a pretty big misplay by trying to switch out against me. He could have finished me off, or healed with Roost probably, but instead he goes into Seismitoad, which I am able to KO due to its due to it being pretty weak, and be getting ritual damage with burn as well. He goes out into Neuverd, and I'm also thinking I can kill this thing after the Stealth Rocks, and I do, so I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was just trying to stall turns for the drought to go away, but either way, it's pretty good for me. He goes out into this guy now, his Crocodile, and yeah, I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to go out into my Gallade, and I don't know why I did that, because I don't really take anything this does very well. He goes for the Earthquake, and it does a ton, and this is my Mega Evolution. I switch out because I don't want to take that again, and I'm thinking that this thing might be Scarfed. I do see a lot of Scarf Crocodiles, so unfortunately he does also switch out, and he goes out into his Charizard, which is just going to die to the Stealth Rocks. Another reason why it was pretty bad idea to switch him out, since he didn't have a Rapid Spinner either. Oh well, he goes into Jolteon now, and I don't really have anything that can, safely take this thing. And I ended up outspeeding him. He said that he was a modest Jolteon, I think, which is the reason that I'm able to outspeed, so that's pretty cool. And he goes for the Thunderbolt, which takes out my Tornadus. So I go back into Typhlosion, and I do have Fire Blast for this scenario, obviously with my HP not at full, so I go for that, and I do end up taking out this Jolteon. They are pretty frail. Even though I guess they're more physically frail than specially frail, I still felt pretty confident I could kill that thing from there. But yeah, in comes back this freaking Crocodile, and all I have is Typhlosion and my Gallade. I am going to Mega Evolve with Gallade, but Crocodile does have, I think, 15 more base speed than me with my Crocodile. I mean, sorry, yeah, it has more than my Gallade, and, yeah, I'm going to have to hope that he's not Jolly. I am a Jolly Gallade, obviously to abuse Mega Gallade's base speed, but the turn that I Mega Evolve, I use my original speed, and I do outspeed, which is excellent for me. Being Jolly, and I believe he was a Adamant one as well, so he was going for the attacking, the pure damage offensive natures, while I was going for the speed natures, and as you saw right there with the Jolteon and against the Crocodile, he had the base speed advantage, but due to me having that max speed, I was able to outspeed and do some significant damage. Which leads me to the question of the day, which do you prefer? Do you prefer speed boosting natures for sweepers like Jolly and Timid, or do you prefer the full offensive attacking natures like Adamant and Modest in general? Obviously, it depends on the Pokemon. Certain Pokemon obviously don't really need speed, especially when they're slow already. But in general, if you're going for a fast or just a normal sweeper, which you prefer, and I think this battle is actually pretty excellent for displaying why you definitely want that max speed, in my opinion. That's why natures like Jolly and Timid are, in general, superior to natures like Modest and Adamant. So leave a comment about that, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye!